Hey, what's going on, everyone? Justin again, as always. Thanks for watching my channel. Welcome back. So we're over hump day, getting close to the end of the week. If it has been a suck week for you guys, I hope you are getting ready to enjoy a fun-filled weekend. If it's been an incredible week and you're pumping out them hours, more power to you. I hope you're having an enjoyable week and the weekend just makes it that much better. Today's topic, we're going to be talking about, are you judged on your appearance? Today's topic comes from Sarah Merle, who I follow on Instagram. She said that she had a fellow motorcyclist tell her that he actually hides his motorcycle from his coworkers because motorcyclists are often thought to be reckless and he has to come off as being responsible. So that decided to lead me into this topic because I wanted to talk to you guys about it. And we're going to talk about some of the interview processes of how you're perceived and how you're judged based on your appearance. And we're going to talk about some of the things that you're also judged on outside of your attire and the way that you walk. I think it's pretty important and valuable, especially if you're out there looking for a job as it is. So first things up, I just got home from work today. I had more than a 5 o'clock shadow. I had tons of random hair patches going on just about everywhere, covered in grease, everything else. Covered in a sweatshirt, oil. I smelled like crap. I'm a smoker too to boot, so of course that cigarette smell is on there. And this is pretty much how I look, and you wouldn't want to go to a job interview looking like that. So if you're looking for a job, you wouldn't want to go to the job interview looking and smelling the way that you do. Some things you might want to do: shave, maybe put on a nice shirt, get a haircut. These things will help you. If you're a smoker, try not smoking prior to your interview. So take a shower, get dressed, go to your interview. If you pass the interview or the interview went well, or you think it might have gone well, then you can go ahead and light one up towards the end. I know a lot of people out there refrain from smoking. They're not huge advocates of the cowboy killers. That's fine. Okay, from time to time I actually do enjoy them, but I know that there's a time and a place. And that time is not before you go in for a job interview. So if you are a smoker, avoid smoking before you go in for that job interview, no matter how stressed out you feel prior to going into it. Be ready for the interview. Already know the questions that they're going to ask you before you sit down. Some other things that we're going to talk about here is when you pull up to this establishment for where you're getting ready to work, maybe not a good idea to take your street bike, right? Because we come off as reckless. At least that's the impression that most people get if you do ride a sports bike. You wouldn't want to go to an interview on a sports bike. Hopefully you have a car or some other means of transportation, or maybe you can even get help getting traveled down there so you can do your interview and then go home. That way you're not in your biker gear going in for an interview. Other things would be like beater cars. I know you can be judged on that. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Sometimes people can be impressed with the way that that vehicle still runs, looking the way that it does. Other times it kind of gives them an overall idea of how either clean or messy you actually are. So if your car is an absolute beater, they may not want to hire you on. It's the same exact approach when you're dealing with women, okay? You show up in a really nice car, maybe they think you have money, maybe they think that you're well off or better off. If you show up in a beat car to the date, maybe they have some questions about that, like, you know, what's his income really like? Is he going to be able to support us if we get an apartment, etc.? It's the same exact thing when it comes to going on your first date that it is for the interview, because they're meeting you for the first time, so perception is everything. You'd almost be better off taking a taxi or an Uber rather than, you know, bring something like that. This is just my thoughts and opinions. Of course, you guys might feel differently. Let's dive into other things that you might not want to wear. So if you're into motocross or you're even into like hockey, you might not want to wear your jersey. I'm extremely comfortable in jerseys. I'm wearing one now. Mostly it's my Sunday attire, but I decided to wear it for this video to kind of give you food for thought. You may not want to go into the interview process, even if this is your Sunday's best. You might not want to go into the interview process wearing a jersey and a backwards cap. You might decide to comb your hair, maybe put on a nice collared shirt or sweatshirt, something like that. And if you have tattoos, you might want to try to cover them up with long sleeves, because not every single business establishment wants their employees covered in tattoos. And I know there's a lot of you out there, but at least you could show them how you look presentable even with tattoos. So when you do go in for your job interview, if that's a thing, and you present yourself well and you cover your tattoos well, 9 times out of 10 you're going to get the job. But if you have them all out of the place and you're just showcasing them then maybe you might not look as professional and they might not want to hire you on basis of that. Most people think that if you're covered in tattoos, you come off as some kind of criminal. Not the fact that you enjoy having ink put on your body, but the fact that maybe you might have been in lockup. That's a perception, okay? It's the same thing with having a street bike. You might come off as being reckless. Might not be very professional with that. There was a story, and I don't recall if it was from a movie or if it was an actual true story that I recall that stuck in my head, where this surgical doctor actually was trying to help a lady from getting mugged and got into a tiff or a fight with the person that was trying to mug her, and then somebody else came on the scene, saw them fighting, but because this surgeon was covered in tattoos wearing a biker's vest and the other guy was not and appeared to be somewhat clean cut, they assumed that the biker looking dude covered in tattoos was the one that was trying to rob this girl, so they shot and killed him instead, and the other guy took off. Perception is everything, okay? This is how society's worked so far. Another thing is going to come down to your walk. Are you walking lazily, kind of lackadaisical to the person, kind of not really shaking their hand or giving the old limp wrist? Or are you walking up to them, feeling confident, being confident in yourself, and giving them a nice firm handshake? Bring that smile up to play as you're getting ready to get into the office to sit down for the interview. These are things that they look at, okay? Everything comes down to appearance. How you're dressed, how you walk. Is your shirt tucked in? Is it hanging out? Are you clean cut, clean shaven? I mean, these are all different types of things that build up to that interview process. And then the way that you answer your questions is also going to play a contributing factor and a big role. So if you have experience or you don't have experience, you need to be upfront and honest. Don't try to cover something up that you don't know how to do. Be honest with them. This is what I'm capable of. This is how long I've been doing it for. This is where I worked previously. This is what I'm trying to achieve. These are my future goals. These are things that need to be in the back of your head when you sit down for the interview. Also have questions for them. How much do you pay your guys? Is there vacation time? Is there sick time? Do you have a 401k? Is there medical and dental? How long are the lunches? Is there room for incentives or bonuses? These are all the different questions that you should be asking during the interview process. The interview process is a two-way road. You don't want them asking you all the questions and you just being completely agreeable just because you need that job that bad. You want to actually pose yourself as saying, hey, look, I'm here, I'm confident. These are the things that I need to know if I'm going to be applying and taking this job with you guys. I want to know what makes you guys stand out amongst all the other businesses that I've already applied for. Secondly, you're going to want to bring in a resume. Don't write it down with a pen and paper and do it by a pencil or anything like that. Don't do it in crayon, okay? Marines? Just kidding. But at any rate, don't do it in pencil or crayon or marker or whatever. Actually sit down and type it up. There's a way you can type it up. There are several different resources online through Google that you can actually sit down and go through that'll show you how to fill out a proper resume so you can submit it. Most establishments have online applications or want you to submit a resume, and the paperback option is actually becoming pretty obsolete. So those of you that are trying to apply for a job, before you even walk in and ask if there's a job opening, you should at least go online and see if they even have a career application that you can fill out prior to even going in. So you can fill it out, walk in, say, hey, I would like to see if you guys have any job openings. They're like, oh, yeah, actually, we are looking for somebody, but you'll have to go online and fill out the application. Perfect. I've already filled out the application. Is there any way that I could talk to a manager about possibly getting an interview anytime soon? Oh, great. Give me 1 second. Go ahead and have a seat. Someone will be right with you. That's how you kind of do it. But more so than just going through the interview process, filling out the applications, you guys need to know that appearance does mean everything. And your speech can be one of those things that actually does play a contributing role outside of your walk, outside of the way that you dress, outside of your preemptiveness where you've already preemptively got yourself ready for the interview and you filled out the online application. But how you talk is actually going to also determine if they want to work with you or not. Because if you come in there and you use a lot of slang terms or talking in text, or you just seem like you don't care, you're not making eye contact, you appear fidgety, you're crossing your arms, you got your hands in your pockets, these things are going to be turnoffs for the person that's interviewing you. because they're going to see how you present yourself and how comfortable you are in front of other people, especially given a very minimal strenuous environment, okay? Because the workload could be mild, it could be heavy, but the interview should be the most minute piece of stress that you have going into this career, whether it's in automotive or the medical field or anything else out there. I think some of the most easiest jobs to get where they really just don't care about a lot of the things that we explain in this video would probably be either retail or fast food. They just need someone that is ready to work, that can fill in some hours because they're missing staff. So if those are the two jobs that you want, go ahead and go for them. If you're looking for something a little bit better, you might go out of your way to watch this video and actually take some of these things that I've talked about today into consideration prior to going into that job interview or even into that establishment. That's all I got for this video, guys. Thanks as always for watching. Cheers to those of you that have your beers. I hope you enjoy the rest of your work week. We'll see you guys next time. Cheers and deuces.